Hello, officials. Thanks for taking the time to view this quick tutorial on our new video review software called VidSwap. This is Tyler Spear, your state coordinator of football officials for the WHSAA, and I'm hopeful that this video tutorial will help answer some of the frequently asked questions that you might have or otherwise help you with navigating through this new software. The good news here is that we'll have access to a ton more film than what we've had in recent years, and it'll just become a great resource for each of us as we prepare and as we review and get better from the film. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so if you end up here, this is the login page, app.vidswap.com. Do note though, if you don't have a login sent to you, make sure you reach out to the WHSAA and either Chad or Lana can get you a new login. Lots of people have had them. Maybe it's buried in your inbox. I'd also recommend checking out your spam folder. But invites have been sent, and if you can't find it, just reach out to the office and they'll get you a new one. So you'll go in here and we'll sign in, and it'll take you to a landing page like this. Now, most of what you see here is not really anything you're going to interact with. And so a lot of it is just a distraction. You can go to the top right here. I would not recommend switching teams because I don't know where it'll take you. You can change your account information here. So if you wanted to do account info, all that kind of stuff, you can do that there. But realistically, you're going to stay on this main page. And so when we look at this main page, where I want you to go, intuitively, it's going to take you to videos. That's not really what that's for. You can upload film if you have any of your own here. But that's just for you guys. If you want to see other video and review, which is going to be our main purpose, you're going to go to League. And so if you click on League, it'll bring up a team search. Now, interesting little nugget here. You're going to see some teams really quickly. So if I put in Jackson, for example, you'll see Jackson comes up right away. And we'll go back and navigate to this soon. But say I put in Central, you'll notice nothing comes up. If this happens for the school you're looking for, try changing up how you search. So for example, we know that Central is actually Cheyenne Central. So if we do Cheyenne, well, there's East. Spear, what do you think? Well, little trick, CCHS, you might think that's Campbell County. That is actually Cheyenne Central. So just a little heads up there. And just to prove it to you, there's Campbell County right there. So get a little creative with your searches if you can't find what you're looking for. But for the most part, you should be able to find just about any team and any school that you can here. There are only two schools, and they're in a certain town in the middle of the state where we're still working on getting access to film through this platform. But otherwise, pretty much everybody else is on here. So you'll go here and you'll search. And so in this instance, let's go ahead and we'll just search for where we started here. And so you'll bring up Jackson, it'll take this. You'll want to click on this very top link here, boys varsity football, varsity boys. That's the descriptor. The rest of them will just confuse you. You can look at some frosh and soft stuff, some JV as well. They have all that because they utilize the same cameras that are on the stadiums. So I guess if you were looking for lower level, maybe you had a unique play, you could definitely still look there. But we'll go here and click go. And the next thing you'll see is it'll take you to a page like this, okay? Obviously, you're thinking, well, there's no games. You have to go up here, and you can see that we're pretty far in advance on years. And so as it sits here, it's August of 25. We haven't even had that yet. Let's go 24, 25, and you'll find here are all your games. So go back to the season and note that it's the 2-year season, the fall, spring. So fall 24, spring 25, and you'll see you have both home and away games for this school, which is really handy. So you don't have to go to the home site to find them. Okay. Now, you can go to clips if there are any. Typically, there are not. Some schools use this platform, some don't. But you'll stay right over here on games. And you have two choices here, depending on the school. Some will have a cut up version of the play or of the game, excuse me, and that'll be under watch. But you'll see if we click on this, there are no play clips for this playlist, and that's because they're not using that function in this game. So we'll back up here. And again, if you back up, it boots you out. So you just got to get back to the proper season, and you're just going to end up on this watch uncut. It'll give you this pop-up screen and the option of the different angles. Depending on where you're at, you may have a single angle or you may have multiple angles. And once you click on that function, it should bring up our contest here. And as you can see, I'll go ahead and pause this. As you can see, this is a 3 hour and 40-minute video, which means there's a lot of pregame in this, some pomp and circumstance. And so you can work around that as you need to see what you want to see. But I want to highlight a few of the functions here. The first of which is you do have a drawing tool. Okay. And if you look up in the top right, you'll see a trash can up here in the very top right. That's how you can get rid of that drawing as well. So just keep that in mind. Over here with settings, you have volume and show controls. The volume is real. I mean, I don't think you'll need to use either of those, but just know they're there. Now, the important controls are here in the bottom center. The -5 will take you back 5 seconds. Obviously, everybody knows what play pause is. 2 dashes is slow motion. 2 dashes in a line is fast forward. But here's the cool part. You also get fast forward 3 times and fast forward 4 times if you really want to buzz through some things. And then this last button will advance you 5 seconds. And so if we go here to, we'll just click forward here and it takes a minute to load, right? So we're ended up here. Okay, we got past the kickoff. I can click the -5 seconds and click it again. And there we are, we're at the kickoff. So super handy feature to start plays over. And then as you'll see, you can run through the plays here. Okay, kickoffs are uneventful. Oh, wait, they did an onside. So we'll back up and watch the whole thing. All right. Okay, now we have this review, but we don't want to necessarily go too much here. So if you click the fast forward and let go, it moves fast forward. If you unclick, it'll slow it down. So that's the newest thing is you don't have to hold it down. Once you click it, it will fast forward for you. And until you unclick it, it's going to stay at that speed. So interesting play here. We have an injured player down, so we can speed this up by 3 times or even 4 times, even like that, just to get where we want to go. And then once we get let's go 5 more seconds. Now that we're getting close to where we want to be, we just unclick that 4 times and it ends up being right where we need to be. So, all righty. Now we'll go ahead and I'll just show you some of the drawing functions here just so that you can see it. All righty. So we have a receiver on the line here and here for in the backfield. So that looks okay. And if you hit play, you'll note that it just continues to progress. Now, if we back up, you'll notice that kind of goes away. And so you'll want to keep in mind, that thing so that you can draw in a moment. But if you either hit the trash can in the top right, or if you hit the play button, it's going to delete it. So interesting tool, but you saw me touch on the other thing too, which is this annotate button. So I'm going to get to an interesting play here, and then we'll use the annotate feature just so that you can see it. So we'll let this play go. Ooh. The one thing we don't have is a slow rewind. I don't love that. So you got to learn, you got to just manipulate this a little bit. You'll get used to it. That looks a little bit like an FST, but here we go. Flag comes in. All right, let's back up and we can use the annotate function here. So with the annotate function, obviously you just have the mouse. You have the select tool. You can put in text boxes, the drawing tool, which is where I start with. So we can, do this nice little circle of our referee. You can erase that if you'd like. Pretty broad there. We can spotlight. I don't know quite how that's any different than drawing. Again, hit the erase function. Interesting. I'm learning right along with you on some of this. But anyways, so clear all my drawings. That's helpful here. So if you hit clear, you can clear most everything out, or you can hit the undo button. Let's take this spotlight off. Arrow. Interesting. All this to say, you can manipulate this as much as you want. And then this right here is where you can save your drawings in case there's something you want to highlight later. So things to just keep in mind here. And wow, that's quite interesting. So there's your trash can right there. It sees me drawing again, and we can just delete it right there. And there's a little square box right there, and that deletes that. So again, just manipulate it. So if you have the spotlight tool like we just showed with the arrow, there's a little X that allows you to delete it. So let me pick on Mr. Pyre here again. I can move this. Hi, Terry, that's your flag that's coming. And then I can put this little X in and delete that. Or if I want to use the spotlight tool, we can go, hey, it's this cat right here. That's our deal, right? And then we can use our other tools to erase that. I'm going to use the trash can tool actually. So go up to mouse toggle and then trash can, and it takes it away. So again, just take your time and manipulate it. You'll find this to be a lot of good tools to help us with our film review. So the one thing I'm not entirely sure of, let me see if I can mess with it here. What I'm not, and I guess I should say, let's just go from here. On the left here, you have the hamburger stack, and this will take you back to the dashboard, to your own videos, all of the different things that we've seen before, including your settings. Settings really doesn't take you much of anywhere. And so when you back up though, from the hamburger stack, it'll take you back to your game. The one thing I don't see here is I don't see ourselves a clipping tool for a particular play. That's going to be the one thing where you're still going to want to, unlike Huddle, where we maybe had that, that's where you're going to use one of your screen captures on your desktop or laptop computer. That's going to be the best way to do that. So all this to say, that is VidSwap. I'll go ahead and take us back out of here. And when you back out of the film, it takes you to the search for a team. And we'll just go through this one more time, just for the sake of doing it. So we type in Thunder, Thunder Basin Varsity. And if we go to this year, 8/17 to 25, I think that's probably an incorrectly dated video because obviously that game didn't happen yet. But either way, just go to the year, and it's the 2-year academic year for the team you're looking for, and it'll get you where you need to go. Again, there's 2 schools in a certain large city in the middle of the state that we don't have, but hopefully there are some workarounds. You'll certainly be able to see those teams on the road. But all this to say, that's VidSwap. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and we can get you some more answers. And again, if you want to bail out, this is how you bail out. Alrighty, a little unvarnished, a little rough around the edges, but there's VidSwap for you, and hopefully it'll be a real beneficial tool for all of us as we review film this year and moving forward. You'll note Huddle is defunct. That's because we have such a good platform here in VidSwap, so that's why we're moving that direction. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me or the state. We'll get you an answer just as soon as we can. Once again, thank you for your time, and have a good season out there. Take care.